you know, it goes all the way yellow, for several yellows and reds, and then over to the brown dark colors, and have some whites here to kind of even it out. But it's all about intuition, really. It's not a conscious process. You want me to just behind here, maybe. To make you kind of try to place things at the right spots, because if you do mistakes when you are kind of drawing it or sketching it, you have to start moving everything afterwards. And since I started at the lights, I start kind of in the light areas. If I do something wrong, I have to start moving things after I've been sketching it, and it will take a lot of time. So I try to get it as correct as possible in the beginning. Like there. So funny. So lights. See those lights? Just put on high all over, and they kind of pop out. It's almost using the brush as charcoal in a way, some places. So almost like drawing with a pencil. I would have done it myself. Hopefully.
You didn't go to the army?
I wasn't in the army at all. And I kind of regret it in ways. Because I do like to shoot.
Okay.
Yeah,
I am recording.
no recording.
So yeah, if you don't like something, you can like repeat it or whatever.
What? Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, you tell me about the art. How did you start it? How did you discover
Oh
your
yeah,
art?
I used to be a welder, and I got this thing through the union that I could change because I had this asthma thing, so I could change my occupation. And I just went into this drawing school, and I met this beautiful teacher who taught me to love colors. And I was actually wondering about becoming a designer, you know, commercial designer or something. But then I fell in love with painting, so I just kept on doing it. Then I went to an art school and learned the basics, not basics in painting, but basic arts. I'm self-taught as a painter, but the trigger was actually just the feeling. When I put the brush on the canvas, it just turns off all the thoughts, and you just go into flow. And this beautiful feeling became an addiction in a way. So painting is kind of an addiction. So for me as a painter, it's more about the paint process than the ideas and stuff like that. The ideas and are more like a thing I use to be able to paint. And I like a challenge, so I am a figurative painter. And that's the most challenging you can do as a painter, because you have the shapes, you have the colors, you have the room, you have the try to get the most. Oh well, that's my view anyway. It's my personal view. Maybe somebody disagrees with it, but and it kind of calmed me down. I'm quite hyperactive, thinking all the time, and when I do that, I just calm down. It's like training, running, just go into this beautiful flow. So I guess that's what triggered it, and I've been just worked with it ever since, and slowly getting better. In the beginning, it was like I couldn't paint or draw at all in the beginning. I was like a 10-year-old, but I worked like crazy. I just went into it with my whole body and mind. I don't say heart. I hate that heart thing. It's bullshit. You know, the heart is a muscle that pumps blood. And I just went from nothing to quite good in just a year. And then I went to art school, and then I got into a couple of important exhibitions, and I got a gallery, and I just kept on doing it ever since. It's been over 20 years now. So 1989 was the first time. I actually had a girlfriend named Heidi, who, because I was in that shipyard and working, and she's told me, here, get a hobby. She was so sick of me sitting in cafes and stuff like that. And the first time I put this was just, wow, just brought my childhood back in a way, that, you know, being in nature and being in flow. It's like becoming a child again. It's hard to explain. It's just something you have to do to know what I mean. You just have to do it. Yeah. Any questions?
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Was that okay?
That's okay. Yeah, you mix
Not
like
good?
things. No, that's good. That's good.
Well, that's me. I
Yeah.
kind of jump around. And
Yeah, that's great.
but was it bad?
No. Well, it wasn't bad. I will just mix it anyway.
You will mix it. Okay.
Yeah, no. You started like with your childhood, then you talked about the painting,
Yeah.
and then you went back to the childhood.
Yeah,
So,
but that's
so for me, I will just cut and do.
okay. Do whatever.
Yeah.
Just get it. Whatever you do
Yeah.
it your way.
Yeah.
You know the best way.
Yeah. Now tell me about the science. What the science means for you.
Okay. Yeah. What science means to me is the objectivity of science. Science is a way to understand reality.
Sorry, Andre. I asked you a question because I knew that science means something to you. But you could start with like, can I just ask you like what inspires you? Do science inspires you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you answered the question of what inspires you, and you start.
Then I start with reality.
with reality, and also, and you can talk about science.
I can talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
So what inspires you?
Well, what inspires me is engagement in the real world, and science is a big part of it. I love the clarity of science, and that's why I always also like some clarity in my paintings. Science explains reality in a beautiful way, and you can actually understand how you came into being and why you are here. The question, why am I here, is already basically answered. It's evolution by natural selection, and it's a beautiful thing. And also being scientifically literate means that you can more easily, if you study like brain science and stuff like that, which I've done, not studied it, but I kind of study it. I can understand how my own brain is working, and I can, through science, understand why it's sometimes hard to exist, hard to get going, hard to do the right thing. Yeah, that's basically it. And and the clarity, the rationality that you mostly don't find in conceptual art. Conceptual art is more like a subjective experience. Everybody can experience it subjectively, and it has no objective, scale. So to me it becomes like theology. It's more like white noise in a way. I mean, art and science should merge more like with Leonardo da Vinci, which was also a scientist. And you see Charles Darwin was a brilliant drawer. And the scientific mind, science comes from natural philosophy. And natural philosophy also included the arts, used to include the arts. So it kind of been a partition there that I think is quite unhealthy. Okay? So that is basically what inspires me to create something rational, something clear, but also giving it the necessary subjectivity, and that's where the strokes and the colors and the flow and the chaos of it and the pattern in chaos and all this comes in. So yeah, and I'm inspired by reading an article. It can make me angry. I want to write something about it. I am very political. I'm an anti-theist, an atheist, anti-theist. I could say that one of the few things I hate is actually religion, because it's so based on delusion, the way I see it. I know other people see it differently, but so I basically get my inspiration for engaging with the real world. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's great.
I'm just ranting here,
Yeah, no.
And it's in English, so I'm not that good in English. But
Your English is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's original. Just keep something. When I am silent, I don't want my voice to interfere.
Okay. Am I going to look into the camera?
No, look at me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's perfect. And
because it's more natural for me.
Yeah, of course. And also when you finish, like I keep like 2 seconds space. I don't talk. It will help me in edit. And also when I ask you, like, you keep like 1 second, then you start talking.
Okay.
Yeah, it might be weird for you, but
no, it's okay. I just need to know these things, I'm not.
Yeah. So we talked about how did you came to art, and your inspiration, which is science, and reading, whatever. And what else we could talk about? Can you tell me about the technical side? What brought you to draw these big portraits, big paintings?
Oh yeah.
In technical way, because they are big, and the technique that you are using. Also, explain in technical way why did you choose this kind of painting?
Yeah.
Not, I don't know, not watercolors or not like other stuff.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, the painting behind me here is actually you might call it an anti-theist painting. It is, it's called Olaf posing as the angel Mikael. The angel Mikael is God's executioner or warrior. And the little girl was sitting there with an apple, the apple from Garden of Eden, and he just waits for the order from this god to cut her head off when she bites it. So it's very symbolic, okay? Probably also quite over the top. The technique I'm using is basically the same techniques as the old masters. Building it up with light and color, like Rembrandt, building a lot of texture and painting over it with more liquid colors, so you get some transparency in the colors. And I only use oil color when I'm painting.
What other areas we have to talk about? There is one thing yeah, now you tell me about the tattoos. The tattoos you have?
Oh yeah.
And like everything, like the things, like explain to me why did you have this and what is that?
Yeah. I can do that. I'll put away the cup because I'll probably use my hands. Okay. Yeah. As I said, I love science, and I wonder. I didn't actually care much about tattoos until I was like 38. Maybe it was a 40-year crisis, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I made a plan. So since I love science, I tattooed the periodic table on my arm. It's not periodic because you can actually place it like that, but so you have all the elements like gold and platinum and hydrogen, helium, lithium and carbon and everything. And I tattooed a G for gravity because it's all the elements except from lithium and hydrogen are made in or is it helium? Okay, it's made. The first ones, three first ones, were made in the Big Bang. Two first ones. Jesus, want to do this again? Let's do this again.
Yeah.
Because now I really.
Which is two first ones? The hydrogen was first.
Hydrogen was first. Yeah.
Yeah,
then helium. Lithium. Hydrogen was first, and then helium and lithium. Because that was created in the Big Bang.
The helium gets created after you burn the hydrogen.
But
I don't know if it exists.
well, the first three elements were created in the Big Bang, and that was before stars formed.
They should be simple, I think. Maybe nitrogen.
And then all the other elements were created in stars, dying stars.
Yeah.
But we can do this again.
But
just do this again.
Yeah.
Because I was getting on.
But you know, you don't have to go for details, extreme.
No, that was what I'm thinking about. I'm not that detailed. I know this thing. I just lost it. So yeah, suddenly because I started to rant too much.
Yeah, one sec.
Yeah. Thunder. It's Odin. No, it's Thor. It's thunder.
Yeah.
It's Thor with his hammer. Yeah, I tattooed the periodic table on all the elements on my arm, and gravity, because the elements are created by gravity in supernova explosions. And I tattooed evolution, so you have the elements, you have gravity, and you have evolution that created me. That's why I'm here. And it took the universe like 3.7 billion years to create me. And that's really fascinating to think that all the things that happened in the universe for 3.7 billion years had to be exactly like they were. Exactly, down to the smallest particle for me to sit here and talk to this camera person here today, and it's really fascinating. So it's kind of a scientific thing, and up here I have some the first one I actually did was 6 Feet Under, because I love this the series 6 Feet Under, and I don't know if you've seen that. I would really recommend that series. And it's flowers, and it's kind of yeah, stuff I like. I love flowers. And you have the number 42. I tattooed the number 42 because from the Hitchhiker's Guide Through the Galaxy, you know the number 42. What's the meaning of life and everything, and it's 42. And here I have this A and T is for anti-theism. It's like for my atheism. And this flowery thing is actually from a pillow that my mother was sewed to me. And also this comes from the same pillow which lies in that bed. So it kind of, everything kind of means something to me. And here I have this sign for toxic waste. So, and it says goodbye. So when they are standing over me and try to shock me into life again, it's just say goodbye. It's just irony, you know. Just all irony. I don't really care much about tattoos actually. It's not something I care about. It doesn't give you any identity, or identity is something that comes from inside, from your head, from the way you think, the way you engage with the world around you. It's not something you can buy in a store. It just maybe reflects my identity. It doesn't give me identity. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Everything that is hard inspires me. That's why science inspires me too, because it's hard, okay, and it's beautiful and it's clear. So, and the old masters it's so hard to do. It really takes a person's whole total attention to make this beautiful artwork. I mean, look at the statues of you know, that David statue. Was it Raphael? No. This we have to do again. Shit. We have to do this again.
Yeah. Oh God, it hit up the camera.
Huh?
Goodness. Actually, what I usually do, sometimes I also get ideas, like suddenly.
Yeah.
I always have a notebook with me.
Write it down.
Or I write it on my phone now. Yeah, which is very...
That's smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
You could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I noticed is I didn't see much science in your painting. Like, you didn't paint science. You didn't paint planets, let's say.
Oh no. Well, the point is, the science is the know-how to make it clear. That's what reflects the science. But I mean, science is not... I don't reflect science directly in my paintings. I try to reflect maybe some clarity or some that it's difficult. Of course, I'm wondering about painting some space pictures, and I would like to do a portrait series of important people that are heroes, like Christopher Hitchens, Lawrence Strauss, Richard Dawkins, Sam Harris, and many more I could talk about. But and of course Carl Sagan and all these extremely inspiring people like Einstein, and you pick some pictures from the internet and make a whole exhibition of these heroes that is really heroes of the whole humanity. These are the guys who brings the world, all the scientists who made all this happen. And it wasn't art that made this happen, it was science. Okay? If you took all the art in the world and you threw it out the window, it would be a loss, but we wouldn't be back to the Stone Age. Okay? But you take science away and you have a big drop-off. Okay? Then it's over. Then women dying in childbirth goes to 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5 children dies before they are 3. It's like Afghanistan under the Taliban. Okay, so what I'm trying to reflect in my paintings, I will probably do some more political stuff in my paintings. I've done a couple of things, and I will do more concrete science stuff later, but it will even then be, for me personally, about painting. It's always the painting for me, because I can't really get going without that feeling, that sense of connection with the canvas. That's the important thing to me.
That's good.
Yeah.
So now we will finish up with this part. You will tell me what are the things you think you missed, you wish you have done, and you didn't, and what do you want to do in future? Like where do you want to take your art?
Yeah.
Okay.
Regrets. Well, I kind of regret wasting some time. I wish I had a brain that were more easier to focus, because it's kind of all over the place, and as I said earlier, it's why paint is so good for me, because it keeps me down. But for the future, since I don't actually believe in the big love, or the which is I would like to see, what I would love to see before I die is the clarity I'm chasing. I would like to write a couple of books. I would like to get my ideas out of my head into a book that I can touch and taste and feel. And I would like to make my paintings the best I can. That is my hope for the future, because as an atheist I'm gonna cease to exist in not that far in the future anyway, and life is in a way meaningless. Life is meaningless in a realistic universe, but it is the thing that giving it meaning while I'm here, and that the only thing that can give it real meaning is when I engage with ideas, with painting, with and also other people, conversation, and of course sex and love and stuff like that have some nice things with it, but it usually doesn't last. And the lasting thing is what you do. Yeah. No, that was kind of strange, wasn't it? We'll do that all again? What?
The last thing you said, it was very beautiful. You said that was strange, wasn't it? And they wished you stop it there.
Okay, yeah, you stopped that. Okay. Okay, that sounds like a good idea, because it was so. I could feel I would become.
I don't want you to talk to me. I say do it again or whatever.
No, because I can't do it again. Then I have to. Then I start in a different place and I go to different things. You know, it's like that is kind of quite funny about conversation, because it never kind of, it's not the same thing every time, because I don't have a script, just the thoughts appearing in the brain when you interact with a question or with anything. So free will can go jump in the ocean. It's just bullshit. It doesn't exist. Thoughts appear in your head, and they actually appear several seconds before you speak them. So actually your brain has thought them before you say them, and then it appears like you are thinking them while you are saying it. So strange. Huh. Are we taping?
Okay, that's good. Now we will take some
water for nearly 5 months, feeding, growing,
no, come.
preparing for this moment.
Oh shit, we are in shot. We are here, reflection. Come here.
He's about to undertake one of the most remarkable transformations in the natural world. From aquatic predator to master of the air. Adult life of a dragonfly is amongst the most energetic in nature. Dragonflies are the most remarkable animals. See their incredible agility in flight, just watching them skim across the surface of this pond. They can pull 2.5 G in a turn. And they can fly at 15 miles an hour, which is fast for something that big.